For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Pushing for the free movement of Caribbean people by March of next year, what are the implications for us in St. Lucia and other Caribbean community countries? We are into robbery season, believe it or not. What awaits graduating students? And a police officer says it should be mandatory. You're caught with an illegal firearm or ammunition, you should be sent to prison. All that and more between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube as well as the NewsSpin Facebook page. My name is Timothy Poleon. We'll be together until 2. In a moment, your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through the comments in the chat room. Incidentally, Kimani, I forgot to buy you a chocolate. It was my intention to do that because today is World Chocolate Day, so I owe you a chocolate, all right?
No, I don't even like chocolates.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh, my God. All right. It's a good thing I'll try and get you something else.
Yes,
all
something
right?
sour, preferably.
Okay, to coincide with today's observance of World Chocolate Day. On a more serious note, we are in robbery season. Why? Because we have so many carnival events that will be taking place on the island over the next few days. Starting this evening with the Groovy and Power Soca Monarch competitions. And of course, we also have coming up tomorrow the Calypso Finals, and thereafter several other carnival-related events. All the reason why patrons, you have to be on guard. Private security personnel, you have to be on guard, and also law enforcement. Very often we say that we lack the manpower, we lack the financial resources. What we lack is the willpower. We lack the creativity, we lack the desire to ensure that we are safe as citizens. We are not sufficiently, if you want to use another word, paranoid about our own safety. See, people go into the various events and they're concentrating on their phones, they're concentrating on their friends, they're concentrating on, what's is just around them, those insignificant things, and not concerned about other individuals who might pose a danger to them. We are not into discriminating people based on how they look. Clearly, we don't do that, or we ought not to do that. But there's some people who just look suspicious. You look at them and you just know, this guy. Our grandparents, they tell you, I just look at this guy, he's up to no good. In Creole, Mafeye, ep isa vienek. And you have to adopt that kind of attitude, because you ought to be your first police officer, your first police commissioner, your first national security minister, all things considered. You also have to be your own home affairs minister. But seriously, let us ensure that we do everything that is possible for us to be safe, ensure that we secure our vehicles, do our carpooling if we have to, because people break into vehicles, people steal rims from vehicles, people steal vehicles themselves. So ensure that you enjoy your carnival, but please do not throw caution to the wind by not investing in your own security. And also the police, you clearly have to be on guard. You have to do more spot checks. Not so many roadblocks. Sometimes, police officers believe that you have to engage in so many roadblocks all around the island, and in the process, you inconvenience so many law-abiding citizens. I think what you need is more spot checks. Surprise those people. You have tinted vehicles and so on. And I'm just an observance. I'm not no security expert, not any security consultant. I'm not a criminologist, but just a little common sense. If we employ a little common sense, I think we'll be a lot safer during the carnival season. Inspector Siobhan Matthew, again, he was my guest on last Wednesday's News Make Alive program on DBS television. And he's recommending to the authorities that they revisit our gun laws. For example, the recently amended Firearms Act, that's last year. Penalties for firearms possession range from $50,000 to up to 10 years in prison or both. That's at the magistrate level. Indictably, if you appear before a judge, firearm offenses carry a penalty of up to 25 years behind bars upon conviction. What Inspector Matthew is suggesting, make it mandatory. You're caught with a firearm, illegal firearm, you're caught with illegal ammunition, automatically, if you're found guilty, you would be sent to prison. And also, as far as the bail, he is saying that instead of just the surety, just showing proof of you have a certain amount of money in your bank account or land, etc., ensure that people will have to pay at least $50,000 to be granted bail. But let's listen to what he said on Wednesday during the DBS News Make Alive program and News Make Alive.
Those three individuals who lost their lives in Denry, one of them came from England for carnival, right? Mm-hmm. Shouldn't we going back home to our family if we didn't have a gun violence issue in St. Lucia? Anybody you in any province nowadays will not tell you that I'm slapping you and shooting you, and they're shooting you for truth. Then go and get the firearm and come back and shoot you. Anybody who's going to commit a robbery now will have a firearm. And I believe that our laws, which was just revised, should be looked at again. In Jamaica, there's no bail for a firearm offense right now, and you sentence to 15 years in prison. I believe that firearm offenses, whatever it is, could be a bullet, should be an incarcerated term, no fines. Because that's a problem we have. It's like a cancer, alright, and cancer is deadly. Sometimes you survive the treatment, sometimes you don't. So we need to deal with it. Make it more difficult for the perpetrators of those gun crimes. Because you get in an individual team with 4 firearms today, you take him to court for bail. Let's say, for instance, you're a police officer, you do your work very quick. So I come to your home team at 5 a.m., I search your home, I recover a firearm or 2. I ask you whether you have a lawyer, you tell me no. You tell me I could use the justice of the peace. I charge you, I interview you, I charge you. I get you to the court by 11. You have your family members already waiting. You go to the court, the magistrate gives you bail. $25,000 cash or suitable surety. Cash or suitable surety is basically somebody who's capable of signing for you. That person could just go to the bank, ask for a bank statement, come back to the court office, being interviewed, sign your bill, and by 3 o'clock you're out already, that same day. Why not make it $25,000 cash? Yeah, go and look for the $25,000 cash. Some of them may have it, some of them may not have it. But make it more difficult. $50,000 cash. Because a bail is just to secure the person's attendance in court. But let's squeeze them from the bail. You deter them. If somebody knows that for any firearm offense, it could be discharged in a public place, you're going to get a penal, sorry, not penal, you're going to be incarcerated. You know, you're going to spend some time in prison. You're not going to be fined, you'll spend some time in prison. It might be a deterrent. I'm not saying it will lessen on the amount of gun violence, but it might be a deterrent. It might cut down on it by 10%.
Inspector Siobhan Matthew speaking during an appearance on DBS's Newsmaker Live on Wednesday of this week. What say you? 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And, of course, your comments in the chat room. Kimani will be going through them from time to time. Let me see if I have any of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says, good, Tim. I love chocolate. Another person says, today is also Global Forgiveness. Let's put down the weapons and exercise peace and love. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Okay, we have somebody who is watching and listening out of England. Hello to you, as well as you around the world. We have, I think, our first caller line. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I am doing very well.
What's in your mind?
You can still buy the chocolate. I'll send somebody for it.
Beg your pardon?
You can still buy the chocolate. I'll send somebody for it.
No. I only give the females chocolate.
I'll send a female for it.
I don't give men chocolate. Come on, guys. Come on. That's standard. Anyway, the world has changed, but not for me. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, Tim, with regards to the firearm thing, that's just business as usual. I called the show that time the sergeant, I think Sergeant he was on.
Was that Siobhan Matthew? He's the inspector.
Yeah, the inspector. And he said that we have a trafficking thing going on in St. Lucia, people bringing guns in and sending it to Martinique, and you can get, I guess, he said 4,000 euros, something like that, for a firearm or something like that. That's what it is. And it's a lucrative business. I mean, the shootings we have in is just a side, a side effect. You know, it passes through. Some of the guys hold on to some of them to protect themselves and do what they have to do. But that's business, a money-generating business. You know, and if the thing making money, and of course there's risk in all business. So the risk is that you get to, maybe you spend $10,000, $15,000 in fines or whatever, but the guys are going to continue doing what they're doing. And people profit from it. Those who import it profit from it. Those who sell it profit from it. And it's going to continue. Even the lawyers profit from it. Because if you just have to keep charging a guy every time he goes to jail to get charged, goes to court to get charged, the lawyers make money. And if he goes to jail right away and he doesn't get to do it again, that's less money in the lawyer's pocket. Even for the government, it's a revenue stream. Yes or no?
Yes, it is.
Exactly. So that is what it is. The system is just benefiting from it. Yes, a couple of people will die along the way. You understand? But that's what we are. Fodder for the machine, Tim. And when people realize that, then they realize what we're working in. And nobody have no intentions of stopping it. They talk about stopping the trafficking from America. America manufactures firearms to sell, not to hold for themselves. You think they're going to stop? They know their firearms are being sold and shipped out of the country. Yes, they have to show face. They can say we support the illegal trafficking of firearms. A couple of them will get caught. A couple of them will get stopped. But the majority of them will continue. The gun owners, the gun shops have to sell their firearms. You know, it's not just gonna buy it and sit it and have it sitting on the shelf waiting. No, it has to get sold. Even those who buy it, they shoot it a couple of times and then they want to upgrade to the new model. They'll go out on the streets and sell it. So it's a business, and it's we that, well, those who suffering from it and not profiting will want to stop it. But those who are profiting from it, who are the businessmen, they will not stop it. And that's my take on it.
Thank you so much. I mean, based on what has been happening in our country over the last few years, we are definitely not serious about bringing the crime problem under some level of control. Now, I'm not in a position to say why. It seems deliberate that governments and the authorities will turn a blind eye to certain criminal acts in our country for whatever reason and pretend that they do not have the solution to address those problems. Take, for example, enacting the appropriate legislation. I really don't understand why it would take our governments so long for there to be an amendment to gun-related laws in our country, when that is the weapon of choice for those criminal elements who go out there and snuff out the lives of law-abiding citizens and get involved in all kind of criminal acts. So what is the motivation for us not wanting to enact the appropriate legislations? And even when we do that, one does not get the impression that we want those laws to serve as a deterrent. Penalties for firearms possession range from $50,000 fine to up to 10 years in prison or both. What kind of message are you sending to criminal elements? And very often, magistrates can use their so-called discretion. So, if it is your first offense, then you would be charged, $25,000? As we continue to hear people getting bail for $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000, and very often they come up with the fine, 10 years in prison or both. Now, very often people have the firearm in their possession, the legal firearm and the ammunition. They are not afraid to use it. They are not afraid to maim people. They're not afraid to take the life of someone. And our detection rate is not that encouraging. And so many people use the illegal firearms and ammunition, take the lives of other people, and they are never arrested. They never face justice. So at least we need to do two things. Ensure that the penalties are stiff, and also provide our police, law enforcement with the requisite training so that we can improve the detection rate. Because so many people are dying, and this is not an exaggeration. 43 homicides so far for this year. We're in the 7th month of 2023. That is a tremendous number of people who have lost their lives. And the majority of those people, it's due to gun violence. Now, if we could have find ourselves in a position to speak to the dead, what would those people say? Those people would have a lot of resentment towards law enforcement, towards our society, the gun culture. We are letting ourselves down when we do not do what is necessary, instead of saying, oh, crime is our business. Again, I keep making reference to the ordinary folks in certain parts of St. Lucia. Are they responsible for enacting the appropriate legislation? Those people make recommendations at certain levels. Street vibes. They tell you this is how they feel about a particular problem that is impacting them. These are the solutions. But you think people who are prominent in our society, people who are holding positions of power, they listen to the ordinary man and woman in the street when they are providing what they deem to be solutions? We believe that the solution resides in people who went to the University of the West Indies, people who are consultants, people who are holding cushy jobs in our country, people who are earning salaries upwards of $10,000. Those are the people we believe who have the answers to our problems. But who are the individuals? Who are the victims? Who are the people who lose their lives because those in authority are not doing what they should be doing in the first place? 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026, 716-2026. Anything in the chat room, Kimani?
Yes, we have a few comments. Someone says, how can any rational person brag that this current government is doing well when crime is totally out of control? Really? Another comment, how can we curb crime when we have a government minister who sides with a talk show host to promote violence? Another comment, remember when Mia told Ralph that weed was coming from his country into Barbados? His response was, strengthen your borders. Another comment, the Attorney General used to represent so many of these guys found with guns. When he gets out of office, he will still be representing them, so he will never make the gun laws more difficult. Another comment, laws upon laws, but the issue is with the enforcement. Tim, it's so sad the inspector came in good faith, spoke the truth, and yet people that should know better came out, and the disrespectful thing is they were saying it's disgusting. Another comment, Tim, the Prime Minister has not addressed the country about what's going on with the removal of VAT on certain construction materials. This is very disrespectful.
Well, the Prime Minister has been in Trinidad over the last few days attending a CARICOM meeting, but that should not prevent the acting Prime Minister or the Minister with responsibility for trade and commerce to address that issue. And that's why I agree with the person who wrote this message. It is disrespectful. If you're saying by a particular date something will come into effect, whether it is the 2.5% levy or the removal of VAT on certain building materials, plywood, cement, steel, lumber, and galvanized, and you know that you cannot meet that commitment, address the people on it. Now, what they will tell you is they have been holding consultation with the those people who are selling the building materials. But what about people who are purchasing those items? We have a call. Good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Tim.
Yes, sir.
Is that you?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. I want to stray away a little, not for long. Okay? I have something that's bugging me.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take to the attention of the authorities. I spoke about it earlier on, some time back, but it doesn't look like nothing is happening. I operate a minibus on the 5E, the Clary Castries route.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, the ministry erected a sign restricting minibuses, the M-plates, from passing on to Trinity Church Road. I was told that this was because of inquiries and concerns brought about by the Clary Minibus Association with some of the members as to picking up passengers along the route.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to kind of assist them in curbing that situation, they went ahead and erected a sign there restricting minibuses, M-plates from accessing the Trinity Church Road.
That's M-plates. That's grossly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only Ghostly, all M-plates, island-wide.
Okay.
Okay? It's not just for one set. It's all M-plates. Now, I have a serious issue because when it takes from around 7 to 8, you find all traffic, the majority of the traffic, is directed onto Jeremy Street. Jeremy Street is inundated with vehicles. In addition to that, the two lights that's giving you access from the Darling Road on to Jeremy Street, the one to the left, I think is an extension of the Bexar bus stand. There's always a bus under that light. So we only have one light permitting us to Jeremy Street. You might not want to believe, it takes me sometimes 20 minutes to move from the Darling Road to Jeremy Street. That is too much congestion. I would like the ministry to look into this. This is crazy. It is crazy. On a morning, just to get onto Jeremy Street, to go up to Chaussee Road and to access the Calvary or to go through La Panse, it's hell because there are too many vehicles on that street. I cannot understand why would the ministry put the whole buses on all M-plates on the island, subject us to that just because of the likes and fancies of the Literary Minibus Association. I find the amount of persons that's been suffering because of that, it's not worth it. And I strongly suggest that they revisit this. This is crazy, and this is not working, and they need to revisit it. That's my take there this afternoon.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. We hope it will not fall on deaf ears. At least somebody will look into your concerns. Because, the Prime Minister of Barbados like to say, many hands make light work. If you, as a minibus operator, plying that Castries to Leclerc route, you have a concern and you continue to express it, it is for the relevant authorities, the Transport Department, to look at this particular issue with a view to at least ironing out some of your concerns and seeing whether any tweaking of the current arrangements will work to the benefit of all other road users. I mean, too often concerns being expressed are falling on deaf ears. I think that's why you have programs like NewsSpin. It is not to facilitate the host, to just interact with people who are calling in and making suggestions and complaining about things and making observations. It is all about the authorities taking note of the concerns that is coming from members of the public, because, take for example, the Transport Department cannot interact with every or all road users in this country, whether you're a taxi operator, minibus operator, or a pedestrian. So they should use every avenue at their disposal to hear what is coming out of the mouths of road users in this country and work towards addressing it. Very often, I think such departments look to outside consultants and people with fancy titles who come in and conduct so-called studies, and then they make recommendations, and even those recommendations are ignored or end up being pigeonholed. What's happening in the chat room? I see you on your phone, but not monitoring the chat room, Kimani. What's happening in the chat room there?
Tim, I am monitoring the chat room. Someone says, Tim, I understand that carnival money is... I don't think I can say this one. Another comment, the government doesn't think they need to address the people or major issues because they have little need for the people now. Another comment, Tim, I'm seeing all of the Caribbean leaders networking with high-level officials from the metro countries, but I am yet to see Philip J. in any forum looking busy. Tim, are you sure PJP is in Trinidad? Let's see. That is it in the chat room, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Let's see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages. Remember, 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Somebody says that I honestly believe anyone who... Okay, let's see. Somebody says too much politics with taxpayers' money. Tim should stop the politics. Okay, whatever that means. But too much politics with taxpayers' money. So the Prime Minister, I could only imagine, will address the nation come next week, and that is on the removal of VAT on some building materials. That was supposed to come into effect July the 1st. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, this has not materialized, so an explanation is forthcoming. You think? Still to come on the program, what awaits graduating students? The talk of leadership, because we've been focusing on this for quite some time now. And Caribbean community leaders, they have agreed for the free movement of people, and that should take effect between now and March of next year. But what are the implications? You're watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube and Power 97.9 FM.
All registered members of Courtesy Taxi and Tours Cooperative Society Limited are invited to attend an annual general meeting to be held on Saturday, 8th July 2023 at the Castries Comprehensive Secondary School at 6 p.m.
One of the biggest events for St. Lucia's Carnival has returned. Rum Bucket Waterland. More water, more paint, more foam. Sunday, 16th July at Gaiety Grounds from 11 p.m. Small coolers will be allowed, but no ice, no chaser. Must be 18 and older to enter. ID will be checked. Your ticket outlets are Steve's Barbershop and all the sell outlets. Rum Bucket Waterland. That's when we reach the waterfront. We doing whatever the hell we want. Get ready for more water, more paint, and more foam. Sponsored by KFC, Digicel, and White Oak.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From My Account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Nightmeds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Glass Supermarket continues to be your family-oriented local supermarket which spares no effort to affordably bring you the world.
Trust Glass.
For quality and friendly service.
Trust Glass.
For daily excellent specials and fantastic prices.
Trust Glass.
For the best quality bread. Check out Glass for your delicious French pastries and meals.
Also, you must know that Glass caters for your special occasion with these quality French pastries and cakes.
Be sure to earn points on your Glass card as we say thank you for your support, St. Lucia. Glass Supermarket, contact number 452-8814.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Automotive art is now bigger and better with bargains galore. Automotive art has expanded. With new exciting products and increased shopping comfort, we welcome you to visit. Celebrate with us and take advantage of our specials. New tires starting at $129, 25% off all tools and accessories, up to 75% off rims, BOGO specials, car care bundles, and other bargains galore. Automotive art, bigger and better.
Art is a place to start.
Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We're trying to get in contact with somebody who is watching and listening to the program over in the UK. I think we have established contact with her. She sent me a message moments ago saying that she wants to make an observation and issue a warning. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, good afternoon. Hi, team.
Good afternoon.
I'm Sanusia.
A
Thank you.
Sanusian educator who lives in the UK. The last time I spoke with you, where were you residing and working?
I was in Poland, team.
You were in Poland.
And I couldn't get out.
All right.
Yeah.
What's on your mind this afternoon?
Okay, so as I say, greetings to everyone. Hi, my family's from Library.
And what's your name? What's your name?
So, Poleon Venel Joseph.
Okay, go ahead.
Team.
Poleon.
I've called before.
Yes.
But I want to say something very important. I'm back in the UK since last year, and then my passport got expired recently, so I decided to go to the embassy to have it done and expedited. So, before going to the embassy, you get everything ready, you have your passport, your passport photos ready and everything, and you go with the form, or you can have it done there. So go in there, I bring everything out, and they asked for the passport photos. I gave them the passport photos. I paid £14 for these passport photos, 4 of them, before coming. And the first thing they told me, they don't accept these photos. So I was like, what do you mean? I came there ready. These are the photos. This is the norm. You go to the Photoshop, especially for passport pictures. They ask you what country have you got a British passport? Because in this case, I'm talking about the UK. I said, no, I've got a St. Lucian passport. They've checked, and then they took off the photos, which I assume they required, or which was required. So then the commissioner, she told me that they don't accept these photos anymore. I have to take out a different set of photos. So I was like, I don't understand. I came in there ready. I didn't know how to come without the photos and maybe have it done there or something. She told me that they don't take it anymore, the size. They were talking about the size. So I said, I've paid that £14. Am I going to get that back? She said no. So then I said, but what? How can I get the photos done? Then she sent me down the road out of the embassy in the corner shop to get the photos done. I went in there, first thing when I came in, he said, are you a St. Lucian? No problem. Can you hear me, Tim?
Yes, I'm listening to you. I'm hearing you. Loud
Okay, yeah. I got in there. They told me, first thing, it's like they know. Are you a St. Lucian? I said, yes. I came in for some photos. So then I did that, went back. I mean, of course, I was upset and I couldn't understand then. I couldn't understand. So I went back, and then only they said to me that the photos has to be 2 by 2 inches or visa size. This is what's required for St. Lucian passport. That's for people in the diaspora, especially for the UK. So I said, I don't understand, because I did not just go into a random shop or take it up by myself. You know, they asked all these questions, and then I took off the photos. Online. So the thing is that they said it's not acceptable. It's not accepted there. And I was about blaming the embassy for that. They said I'm not to be blamed. They have to change this policy in St. Lucia and online. So I said, I'm going to have to call Tim. I said, everybody listens to NewsSpin, and I will call NewsSpin. And she just told me the first thing, please do not say it's us. It has nothing to do with us. Talked about the government of St. Lucia and tell them they need to change it online in St. Lucia. Now tell me, nobody's giving back that £14, and this is going to happen to multiple St. Lucians that would have come there prepared with their passport photos taken. And imagine if you got children or, you know, multiple families having your passport done. Because you wouldn't just come to the embassy just with the form. You would have come there prepared, first thing, with your passport photos. And that's 3 or 4 passport photos. In other places, it could be £20. I paid £14, and they said, they just apologized. And they said, I know nothing about that, but make sure when you're telling St. Lucia, let them know it's not the embassy's fault. It's the government of St. Lucia, and it has to be changed online in St. Lucia. But I Asepa by Betty's killer. This is a real thing. We have enough problems in St. Lucia. One machine, you have to deal with St. Lucia nationals living in St. Lucia. All these problems with passport. We listen to the news. We watch the news. I've heard they open on Sundays, which is good, which might make, you know, the work very light and a sort of a relief. I'm not sure. But how the heck are we paying all these monies and coming only to find out they can't use it, and they're sending us to a place where I have to pay another £9? Mothers have come to say, that money my mother could have gotten it back home to do something with. Because times are hard, even here, all over. So I'm appealing to the government of St. Lucia. This is the message I got from our embassy in the UK at Earl's Court, Collingham Garden, number 1. Please, you need to amend this situation in St. Lucia and online. They said it's not their fault. They have nothing to do with it. And I specifically told them I will call NewsSpin, because everybody listens. It could be Labour, Flub, or whatever party. They listen to NewsSpin. I know that for sure. So please, you'll need to rectify this. And I need my money I spent for that.
Well, don't expect.
And what makes it
don't
worse,
expect a refund.
What makes it? I know, I won't get it. I was just joking. I just said I need my money. What makes it worse? I wanted to pay for an expedited passport. I said I know I took long because it got expired sometimes in April. I said I want to pay for an expedited passport. The lady told me there's no way they can have an expedited. I'll take the money for an expedited passport with whatever problem that's happening in St. Lucia. I said, but I want to pay for that. I want to get it at least within the 6 weeks. She said no to me. So I have to wait a few weeks and then find out if it can be done within that time frame. And then they'll let me know. And I have to pay the difference for the expedited passport to have it gotten back to me for 6 weeks. That's the kind of issues we're dealing with. And we have a new government there. And they said they're putting people first. And I was thinking everything, the problem was in the embassy. It was happening there. They told me, make sure when I said it's not their fault, it's in St. Lucia, the government, they have to rectify there and online. How come they make that mistake? So imagine all these thousands of St. Lucians that live there, they want to do the passport, they come ready, they've paid that money and they can't accept it. So I'm saying again to people, you need the 2 by 2 inches of visa size passport photos, not the random normal one you'd have gone into and take off. That's what I wanted to say to him. I'm very disappointed right now and upset about this.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, St. Lucia national living in the UK. And the last time I spoke with her, she was living over in Poland. She is an educator, and she is from Labrie, St. Lucia. Kimani, what's in the chat room? And I think her concerns are valid, because people in the diaspora, what they would do is to go online to see what is required, the size of the passport, and go accordingly. So there is need to make the adjustment. to update the information
Yes.
that is online.
I went online maybe 2 days ago, and it's still I think $80. It doesn't show the $250 for the regular passport.
Wow.
Some comments in the chat room. Someone says, Tim, to get your license renewed, that infrastructure is a whole day. Don't you think we should privatize that department so there can be more efficiency?
I think we need to call on the briefcase.
Another comment, it is quite evident that the government and big businesses are finding ways to push their hands in our pockets and just taking our money. Tim, how can we have free movements when we can't get our passports in our own country? Another comment, it is quite evident that the government... Oh, wait, I just said this one. Someone says, I went through the same thing here, had to redo passport photos. That announcement has never been made public. Let's see some other comments in the chat room. Someone says, I thought our embassies represented the government. Another comment, why are they not communicating with the embassies? Let's see. That is it.
And yet still you have so many people holding key positions at those embassies, getting thousands upon thousands of dollars, all kind of perks. Say Samuelton, all kind of perks. And whilst they are in St. Lucia, anytime a government changes, they fight, to go up to the UK to so-called represent us in the UK. And I mean, simple things like that, y'all cannot attend to those things, to give people the correct information, to update the information. We have a call. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You on the air? Okay, we lost that call. All right. Somebody says in the chat room, I hear some questionable characters are now in possession of licensed firearms. We have a call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You on the air?
Hello. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Somebody says in the chat room, I hear some...
Hello, caller. Good afternoon to you. Don't listen to the device. Listen through your phone, and then we'll be able to communicate, and there will not be any confusion. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, that's it. Let's see if we get another call, 452-2979. We have another call. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. TW is on the line, Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Timothy, with the St. Lucia Labour Party being in office for roughly 2 years, you would expect that the Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, would actually come to the St. Lucian people and tell them that the 12.5% tax on
caller, you didn't have your Weetabix today?
Yes, I had my Weetabix.
Okay, so flow for me, flow.
Okay, the 12.5% off duty on lumber, on you have on plywood and other building materials. You would expect the government to tie that down with the ambitious actually housing program they did enroll the first year in office, Timothy. Timothy, what has happened to this ambitious housing program? The $10 million that was given to Richard Frederick, the Windjammer project, the forest share, the tavern, what has happened to these housing programs? I'm not hearing anything about it, Timothy. What has happened to it?
Work in progress, caller.
And you expect the government to tie down. You understand that 12.5%? As you know, Timothy, I mean, prices of property in the north has actually increased. You have land going at $20, $25 to $30 a square foot. You understand? People cannot afford this. So the government needs to come out, Timothy, with this and tell us about this ambitious housing program. As you know, a lot of people in St. Lucia cannot afford to buy property in St. Lucia. And we all know prices have skyrocketed. We all know that. You understand? And we all know that some of these communities, people need to be taken off some of these communities like Conway, like Puaso, and even Bruceville to be relocated. Or these people need to be given a deed of sale for the property they are on. It's high time that happens. Is it because these properties are worth a lot of money right now? This is why the government are not thinking about actually giving the people ownership of these lands, but to sell it for foreign investors or to sell it for business people. The lands in Bruceville, that's worth a lot of money. So what does the government have to say about these lands that was owned by Mr. Borai? What are we going to do about the people of Bruceville? We got to do something about them. They cannot be living in such conditions. The representative from Beaufort needs to come out and he needs to tell the people of Bruceville what he has promised them. You know, if he is elected, we haven't heard anything from him. We haven't heard anything from the government of St. Lucia. And Timothy, I need to know what has happened to the ambitious housing program by this government before the next general election. I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. You could just imagine the Prime Minister of this country answering that question. You'll have to chuckle for a few seconds and then tell you, well, we're working on this and we're working on that. But housing is a very serious issue. And the impression was being given that the government of St. Lucia would have embarked upon a massive housing program when they got into office in 2021. That's the impression that we got, with the Taiwanese government contributing millions of dollars towards the rehabilitation, I think, and to a less extent the construction of some small homes for poor people in this country. But there's need for there to be a more of an ambitious initiative on the part of the government to address housing. Can't recall the last successful housing project that was undertaken by any government in St. Lucia over the last decade and a half, or maybe the last 20 years or so. You have a lot of poor people, you have middle class, you have people in the public sector, in the private sector, etc., who are looking forward to owning a piece of the island. Kimani, what's in the chat room?
Someone says, why do people have to pick up passports and government-issued identification cards in any office when it should be sent to the St. Lucia Local Postal Service so it can be delivered directly to people's homes? We have a really sick and poor infrastructure that no one wants to fix. Another comment, caller, you called the right program because Kimani will address your concern when she becomes our first female Prime Minister. Another comment, Tim, she's right, had that same problem last year, October. Thought by now they would have done the necessary adjustments. Someone says they are not doing their jobs and getting paid. Let's see, what else do we have in the chat room? Caller, how can they be different when they just cannot do better without riding our backs? That's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Kimani. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Okay, I think we have a call to go through. Good afternoon via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you on the air.
Yes, Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon,
Tim.
caller. Good afternoon.
Tim, yes, Tim. I heard your last caller speaking on housing, Tim, but I want to know, Tim, what is going on with those CDCs that was in dire need and if any little thing, those things collapsed. Tim, you remember that big hoorah they had about that a few months ago, Tim?
Yes.
So, Tim, so we're not hearing anything about that again, Tim.
Well, let's put it this way. They have been vacated. Yeah. If they collapse, no one will die. Maybe people who are walking in the vicinity of those buildings will get injured, will get killed, will be killed, but not people from inside because they have been vacated.
Well, they have been vacated already, so the buildings are empty. I still seen people in the buildings.
I think many of the apartments have been vacated. No, they haven't?
Well, I'm still seeing some people in some of the surveillance. I'm not sure. Tim, it's still looking occupied to me. Well, somebody else can call and verify that. But Tim, last time I asked you,
go ahead.
Yeah, last time I asked you, Tim, did you find out how much money did this government has borrowed for 2 years, not 5 years, for the 2 years since they have come into power?
No call. I don't.
How
have,
much money that has been borrowed?
I don't have that information at my disposal right now, sir.
Okay, well, Tim, one more thing I wanted to say, Tim. I do not support the 2.5, the 15% VAT again on us solutions. This government need to come up with ways and means. It just reminded me of the time when Kenny Anthony was in power and they said they reached
Hello?
Anything like that again.
Yeah, can you repeat? Can you repeat the last comment? Because we missed you there for a while.
Oh, I heard. I remember when Kenny said they reach a roadblock where they cannot borrow any money again. So it reminded me of those times why we have to put back the 15%.
Okay.
Because it's basically 15% VAT they back. But Tim, one more thing I wanted to ask with St. Jude's. Tim, I heard the Saudi Arabians are the ones going to be taking care of St. Jude's. Tim, how true is that?
Well,
did we hear anything in the news about that? Do you have any information about that? The Saudis?
The Prime Minister said that he would be making an announcement very soon, and that was about 3 weeks ago. So we are waiting an announcement from the Prime Minister.
Tim, all I have to say, Tim, we have a history with the Saudi Arabians, Jufali, so let us just be very mindful and let us pay close attention if we're going to get Saudi Arabian money to fix up that. Thank you, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026, 716-2026. Somebody says there, Tim, I applied for a passport renewal for my son since March the 14th of this year via the New York consulate, and it's now July the 7th and nothing. It's almost 4 months. The government got my money already, and almost 4 months, there are no words on the status of the passport renewal. What's going on? Should I still wait? I could only rely on information from the passport office on this issue, or the consulate office. I was hoping we can get some clarification or some response to your questions that you would deem to be acceptable. But again, we continue to face that serious problem with regard to the issuance of passports, new passports, renewal of passports. And you'd believe that government departments are there to facilitate people. They talk a lot about the ease of doing business. And those government departments are failing the people, whether it is in St. Lucia or whether it is in the diaspora. 4 months is just too long for somebody to get a passport renewed. And you ask yourself again, why we have such departments? Why we have an immigration department? Why do we have a passport office? And why they are manned, they are staffed, and people are getting paid? The big question is, for doing what? Kimani in the chat room, what's there?
Someone says, with regards to passports, why don't we invest in and use the modern technology? In the UK, I renew my passport online and get it in less than a week. Passports are essential for commerce and most other forms of national development. Someone is noting that it's raining heavily in Labrie. Let's see. Labours are always trying to give lessons. They must behave themselves. But that is it in the chat room.
Okay, somebody simply says via WhatsApp, from the diaspora, Tim, passport application forms, except St. Lucia, include size specifications. Can't we do anything properly? We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you on the air.
Tim.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. There is a Masonic and there's a conspiracy going on to create problems with the present system so they could enforce artificial intelligence on you. That is it. Problem, reaction, solution. This is thesis, antithesis, synthesis. And that is what we're going through. A Masonic order of law and control and change to the direction of the elite, the intellectual elite. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Think we have a call coming from the diaspora. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yes, hello, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Long time listener, right? And I just wanted to comment on something that Rick Wayne said. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago, where he mentioned that politically the government doesn't really have power, and I think St. Lucians sort of need to wake up, because we are smart people, and you being a radio presenter, you've heard sort of like the minds of the people, right? And you've heard some amazing ideas we all have, right? And we hear them every day, right?
Yeah.
But it needs to be said that we think that we're left or right or whatever it is, but we are so indecisive. The opposition has won in the past 4 elections. You know what that says? I've even heard that the actual voter population is incredibly low, but that's heresy, right? But the
voter turnout.
Bipartisanism is sort of ruining the country, because good programs are attacked because they are deemed as a waste of money, and people come up with all sorts of arguments to remove good programs because of political bias. Like, it's like no one can win. They put in something good and everyone gets mad. You put in something like, the opposition will say, okay, this needs to be removed, and everybody says, that one good and whatever. And it's the political bickering. It's not productive. A truly socialist society is one where the public is being politically active. The government holds no power. People may have their own lives, right? But we may not have time to sort of do sit-ins or riots riots. I don't mean riots. I mean protests. We may not have time to do protests or get 100 people to stand outside a government office, but we can sign a letter. We can create change. We have the power to create change. But people just need to sort of wake up and stop this sort of political bickering. That's all.
Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from St. Lucia.
Okay. Thank you so much, and appreciate your contribution. You're watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page. We are also on YouTube, and you're listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM. Still to come, the free movement of Caribbean people, and the goal is to have this in effect by March of next year. Stay with us.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Contact Lucelec before trimming or cutting down trees that are near overhead electrical wires. Watch out for power lines before you begin working on a ladder. Be sure that ladders or scaffolds are far enough away so that you and the ends of the tools you're using don't come within 10 feet of power lines. And never use any electrical appliance in wet surrounding outdoors or in the rain.
This message is brought to you by Lucelec, the power of care.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Why pay full price for your mobile when you can pay half? Just bundle your home internet and mobile services with Flow and save 50% on your mobile bill. That's money in your pocket every month. Plus, now you get free YouTube and WhatsApp data. And you can share your plan with up to 3 other numbers. Upgrade now and get a free smartphone. Switch and keep your number. Learn more at discoverflow.co.
One of the biggest events for St. Lucia's Carnival has returned. Rum Bucket Waterland. more water, more paint, more foam. Sunday, 16th July at Gaiety Grounds from 11 p.m. Small coolers will be allowed, but no ice, no chaser. Must be 18 and older to enter. ID will be checked. Your ticket outlets are Steve's Barbershop and all the Cell outlets. Rum Bucket, Waterland.
That's when we reach the waterfront. We doing whatever the hell we want.
Get ready for more water, more paint, and more foam. Sponsored by KFC, Digicel, and White Oak.
Glass Supermarket continues to be your family-oriented local supermarket which spares no effort to affordably bring you the world.
Trust Glass.
For quality and friendly service.
Trust Glass.
For daily excellent specials and fantastic prices.
Trust Glass.
For the best quality bread. Check out Glass for your delicious French pastries and meals.
Also, you must know that Glass caters for your special occasion with these quality French pastries and cakes.
Be sure to earn points on your Glass card as we say thank you for your support, St. Lucia. Glass Supermarket, contact number 452-8814.
Plastic Solutions, catering to all your commercial and domestic plastic and paper bag needs. We also manufacture printed and non-printed plastic bags. Located on the cul-de-sac Bexo Highway, Plastic Solutions is an environmentally friendly company because of its high standard plastic recycling process. For orders and inquiries, please call 758-451-5577 or visit us on the cul-de-sac Bexo Highway.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Automotive art is now bigger and better with bargains galore. Automotive art has expanded. With new exciting products and increased shopping comfort, we welcome you to visit. Celebrate with us and take advantage of our specials. New tires starting at $129, 25% off all tools and accessories, up to 75% off rims, BOGO specials, car care bundles, and other bargains galore. Automotive art, bigger and better.
Ouais, messieurs, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, me money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Brand pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est Major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten mois actuellement. Gloka Fonte. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
Who is a leader? A classic definition of leader is a person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country. However, if we move beyond a descriptive understanding, we can then see a leader as someone who can see how things can be improved and who rallies people to move towards that better vision. This makes sense, as you can ask, what sense of leading if not to make things better? So let us move on to excelling, which can be defined as performing exceptionally well. And finally, perseverance can be defined as persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. So allow me to restate the theme. Let me share what I understood. It says that you, the graduates, are a group of individuals who know what to do, how you can improve things around you, and are prepared to work with others to achieve this with success by trying, despite all challenges and obstacles that you may face.
Attorney Thaddeus Antoine delivering the guest speaker's address. That is at the graduation ceremony recently of the V4 Comprehensive Secondary School. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We've been hearing that the passport office will be opened on Sunday, this coming Sunday, and that is for the issuance of passports. But you need not go there before you call. You ought not to go there before you call. The number I have at my disposal is 456-3826. That is 456-3826. In the event that you have applied to renew your passport or get a new passport, the office will be open to facilitate you, but you must call before you take the trek to that department. You must call first. The number I have at my disposal is 456-3826. That's 456-3826. If somebody from the passport office is listening to the broadcast right now, someone in authority, if you have another number, please forward it to me via WhatsApp at 716-2026. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Now, Caribbean Community CARICOM leaders, they met in Trinidad and Tobago earlier this week to address a number of subjects. And the decision that was reached is that there is a particular measure, efforts are being made to facilitate the free movement of all Caribbean community nationals. Okay, people who are signatory to the free movement of people, countries, and that those countries exclude the Bahamas, Haiti, and also Montserrat. So between now and March, measures will be taken to carry out the various studies and to do the due diligence to see if every member, citizens from every member of the Caribbean community, except the countries that I made reference to, can travel freely, live and work freely in those territories. Somebody sent me a WhatsApp message and giving his thoughts to this. Good thinking, but the practicality brings immense challenges, likely beyond the capability of some states. Free movement, unrestricted work, access to health and educational needs. What about monitoring of criminal movement and investigations? If a trainee says, or if a trainee comes here and commits a crime, will he be tried here or in Trinidad? Likely here. Will our goals have the capacity for incarceration of CARICOM foreigners, or will our prisons have the capacity for incarceration of CARICOM foreigners? Have we fully explored the benefits of our OECS arrangement that we go dive into a CARICOM arrangement? Inter-travel opportunities are meaningless without reasonable ticket prices. Will governments want to forego the huge taxes they bleed from travelers? Before all the agreeing and signing, have leaders thoroughly ventilated all the intentions, possibilities, and even consequences among the people? Will people have any say? After all, for each island, it's their taxpayers' money that will fund all the expenses and benefits for CARICOM neighbors who come in. Okay, that's it for this WhatsApp message. As it stands right now, people with skills certificates, category of workers, sports people, artisans, media workers, etc. Those are the category of individuals who can travel and work freely within the Caribbean community. But the heads have agreed that they will be doing everything possible to, at least by March of next year, facilitate the free movement of all Caribbean community nationals. What are the implications? I know we have a thing against foreigners, xenophobia, etc. But there's need for us to open our markets, open our borders. There's talk also of a low birth rate in many of the Caribbean territories. Not that the free movement of people will address this in any way, but there's need for the change of exchange of ideas and skills and for new experiences if we're going to have truly a free movement of people taking place in this Caribbean civilization. So let's see how it works, and we hope that this will not be yet another decision that is taken and then nothing at all is being done in terms of its implementation. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages and your calls. Somebody says there, VFA Comprehensive Secondary School is Mr. Antoine's alma mater. Are you aware? Yes, I am aware. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says, the lady has yet to say what was wrong with the photo. The required photo size is 2x2. That is the international standard. What she said is that this was not, this information is not on the website. And it needs to be updated because that is not as required. That's not the size of the photograph that people require to either renew their passport or to apply for a new passport. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, the present government has a plan as to how to run the country? ? I don't know. Pose that question to the Prime Minister and Press Secretary, among others. Another one. Imagine going to the hospital and the outpatient clinic is closed at 10 a.m. There are only 2 doctors in the ER and the nurses in the ER are the ones assisting in the front. A child came in with a broken arm. The bone can be seen and they are asking this child to wait. There is no doctor available. Is this our health care in St. Lucia? But we have no equipment in containers but refuse to use them. We need to hear from the island's health minister. See if we have some more of your messages to go through. Okay, what's happening in the chat room, Kimani? Any comments there to go through?
Someone says, in this day and age, we still need a book to travel. Wouldn't a card be better? Another comment, Tim, the difference between good leaders or elites is that they find solutions to problems, not looking at problems. Someone says, big up Tim, we have to stop worrying about problems and start looking for solutions. Everything is a problem if you can't have a solution to make it work. Let me see what else I could find in the chat room. That all these SLPs have book knowledge but no common sense. That's it.
Somebody says that the last caller before the break who suggests people should stop the political bickering has practically asked us to shut up and don't complain about anything that affects us. I don't think that's what you were saying. You're saying that there are other methods that we can employ. You can protest, you can write a letter to your MPs, elected MPs. You could take your concerns to various government institutions. But just the political bickering, according to him, is not sufficient. And that has not really worked. It has just proven to be very divisive, and also people are just blowing a lot of hot air, whether they're supporters of the SLP or UWP. And when certain people call NewsSpin, you just know automatically what to expect from them and other people speaking on various issues. You just know that it's dependent on which side that they support, that they'll be taking a particular position. And politicians, it is clearly the evidence is there that, governments do not listen to the people, whatever they have to say. Very often they don't listen. And sometimes politicians only react to protest action, only react to strikes, and other forms of agitation by members of the public. I'm not saying that's what we should be doing, but obviously we need to utilize other avenues, other methods to ensure that governments listen to the people. Take, for example, July the 1st, you get a break. And I mean, those MPs, some of them government ministers boasted so much. Can you imagine? The removal of 12.5% on certain building materials, and people are against that. People are agitating against that. My God, and it does not materialize by the date. You get no explanation. Today is already the 7th of July. You have so many PR people in the government. You have so many hacks supporting the party. And maybe they have the information at their disposal. No one says anything. So what they're saying to you that we promise, but in due time, we will deliver. We can't deliver by July the 1st. Keep quiet. Within the next few days, we'll take care of this. Why are you in a hurry? We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim and Kimani.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Tim, imagine in a polyclinic at Babono, you live in your home to go and see the doctor, and when you reach there to get your little medication, there is no pharmacist there.
So this happened to you when? Today?
Yes, today.
Okay. And you're hoping the fact that you've spoken about it, the authorities will handle that problem.
Yes, they will hear and do what they have to do.
In your experience,
It's keeping on them too much.
in your experience, does that always work, caller? Does that work?
Well, I'm putting it out there,
Oh, okay.
and let's see how it goes.
All right. This is the first time this has happened to you at the health center there? Oh,
Well, yes.
okay.
Get a pharmacist, would you get the medication?
Okay, then.
Yo, hold on, caller. Kimani wants to ask you a question.
Even if you get the pharmacist, do you think you'll get the medication?
No, not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the time.
Because
All the time.
last time I was there, I did not get all my medication.
The same has happened to me on many occasions.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Well, all the best to you. Well, today's already Friday. Will you be able to access that health facility tomorrow or the weekend, or you'll have to purchase it yourself?
No, until Monday.
Until Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hope you can survive the weekend, ma'am, without your medication.
I'm hoping so too, Tim.
Okay, all right. Take care.
All right, you too.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we have a call from the diaspora. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, let's see if we get this caller on the air. Let's try again. Good afternoon to you, caller. Hello?
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I have a few questions in terms of the implementation of those the young people that when they're pregnant that they have to go for ultrasound and stuff like that. Do you know if the government have put in place any measure to hire more nurses and stuff like that?
I don't know. I've not heard anything of late for the hiring of more nurses or medical staff.
The reason why I'm asking that, Tim, because we heard of the 2.5% for health and security, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what we didn't hear, Tim, is where are those monies going to be spent? How much money that will be put into each of the sector, meaning like the health and the security, if it's 10 million, 30 million, and as to exactly how these monies are going to be spent. Because I also remember the government saying somewhere about, for something about the pensioners, about, no, not pensioners, sorry, senior citizens.
80 years and older.
For 80, right. Now, with all that being said, I believe some of the pertinent questions this government need to answer is how much money, Tim, actually that they have budgeted to spend on those initiatives. Because you cannot just tell me you're going to spend money on people that are 80 years and older, and for the year we don't know how much money you're going to spend. Also, we don't know how much money you will be putting for ultrasounds and stuff like that. So there is a lot of questions that need to be asked, and we need a lot of answers. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the same. It's the same with the old hospital, the old St. Jude's that they're going into, and now we're starting to hear all sorts of stuff. Is it true? I don't know about Renault not taking the job or moving his equipment. These are I don't know how true this is.
What I heard, what somebody told me yesterday is that Renault was contracted to construct the fence, okay, and it has completed that particular assignment. That is what I heard. I've not been able to prove whether it's true or not, but somebody told me that Renault was contracted to construct the fence around the old St. Jude Hospital.
Now I may agree with that statement. However, we have to move back about a year and a half ago. There was a statement made that Renault was a contractor that built a hospital in Dominica, and
yes,
that statement was made by someone of the government.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So they were making that argument that basically Renault has the capability to do such projects,
Yes,
right?
there's no doubt. But I think what is in doubt is the government having the finances to undertake that project.
And
that's why they have to turn to the Saudis.
Tim, there is one problem there, and I'm telling you today on your show, the Saudis. If you go and look at who the Saudis are not gonna invest their money in a building like that. These guys do not believe in those kind of small projects.
But the prime minister said the Saudis were very impressed with the buildings.
Come on, man. Tim.
No.
I
But
know
that's
you've
what
been sarcastic.
that's what the prime minister said.
know
The prime minister said.
He said that. I don't want to laugh, but
That's what the
I know
PM
he
said.
that. But I know you don't believe what you even saying there, because we all know that the prime minister is just joking when it comes to stuff like that. The man is trying to sell something, so obviously he's gonna throw in those pitch. Tim, the Saudis going to put money in something that they know if you cannot pay them back, they're going to take it and they're going to make a profit out of it. They know that the hospital is not something valuable to invest in. They're not going to invest in it. And the few, he himself made the say, we're gonna be I'm gonna make a statement soon concerning that. How soon we have to wait again, Tim? When you say soon, we have to wait a week, 2 weeks, 2 days, who knows?
We can wait.
Maybe
We can
a
wait.
year
We can
later.
wait for as long as possible, because that is the St. Jude Hospital project. We have waited for what? For about 13 years. We can wait some more. We can wait another 13 years again. Eh?
That is correct. But Tim, on a serious note, I believe that this government is really in a lot of trouble than we think, and we're taking it for a joke. But this government is seriously in some financial struggle, and they're not saying that. But listen, a lot of the guys that are running those countries, the technocrats, because they're running the country. Don't mind the heads you see, the politicians you see everywhere. When you see they start feeling the pinch, Tim, that's when you will start hearing otherwise, because the public, that the government is basically squeezing, suffocating, trying to get every penny out of Tim. At one point, that money is going to run out, because you're not creating new jobs, you're not bringing in new investment. That means you're not bringing any new money. So how far along you can keep circulating that money that is already in the country? Tim, we are really, really putting ourselves in a position where down the line it's gonna be very, very detrimental to St. Lucia. And I don't want people to tell me about like the Labour or UWP, because whoever government that come in after that team is gonna face the same problem, because they will have a lot of trouble before you can actually see something. And watch out, we are going to have a recession. Remember, I said that to the team. Have a good day.
You too, sir.
And
Thank
a good
you.
weekend.
You too.
Okay,
Thank you so
bye-bye.
much. I think we have a final call coming in. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Okay. What's in the chat room, Kimani?
Someone says, cul-de-sac new housing, is it in progress yet? Let's see, give Reno the new building called the box as payment to complete the old one if we don't have the money, LOL. Another comment, caller, who will ask the questions? The government ministers, the MP are very hostile, so reporters are scared to get themselves in trouble, which I understand. Another comment, someone says, I agree with you, Tim. They should give an explanation as to why the date was changed. Someone says our healthcare system is in a mess right now. Another comment, as a frequent patient to the hospital and health center, I know our healthcare is a mess. Writing letters of complaint in St. Lucia doesn't work, and no one ever responds. Someone is stating that new rules are coming for approval of passports soon. Get ready.
There's a St. Lucian national watching from Antigua, and he says there's a 24-hour pharmacy in Antigua. St. Lucia has none.
Another comment, government controls the police, the private sector, the public movement. Soon they will control speech. Martinique has been accepted as a full member of CARICOM, according to someone. And a minimum wage is necessary to protect our workers with such initiatives. We have the foreigners accepting underpaid jobs in St. Lucia who will benefit employer or employees. This will be a game changer for traveling between our countries. Let's see. Tim can go Martinique for medical assistance. LOL. That's it in the chat room.
All right, thank you so much. Finally, now we conclude with our NewsSpin news of the day. Our NewsSpin news of the day. The war on drugs has failed and it's time to decriminalize drugs, Scotland says. The war on drugs has failed and it's time to decriminalize drugs, Scotland says. Our NewsSpin news of the day. Bringing to a conclusion the NewsSpin broadcast for today and this week. We trust you'll have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. And we'll be back, God willing, Monday afternoon, 12:30, with another edition of NewsSpin. To you watching and listening around the world, goodbye.